Hey everyone, welcome back to the Be Nice Yoga online studio. My name is Krista, if you're new to this practice, and today we're going to move through a Yang and Yin flow. So what I mean by that is finding our flow practice at the beginning, and then we're going to move into a more restorative and Yin style stretch class for the second half of the class. So the idea behind this sort of flow is to create some heat in our body with the Yang practice, so the flow aspect. And then once our bodies are warm and open, we're going to tune into that gentle, restorative energy of Yin and really open up our hips, our low back, our hamstrings, shoulders. Okay, so we're going to move through this practice beginning on our knees today. Let's just roll our shoulders down the back. Taking some time just to breathe here, you can soften the eyes. We're going to begin our practice with the Yang flow. So first, before we move the body in combination with the breath, we're going to take some time to cultivate the breath. Deep inhales and exhales, feeling the breath flow all the way into the belly. And then pulling from the belly as you exhale. Few more breaths here, just settling into your practice, into the space that you're working with today, into your body. Nice work. So if your eyes were closed, we'll take a moment just to blink them back open. Again, rolling the shoulders down the back. So I'm going to turn to face the front of my mat. We're going to stay on our knees and start off our practice with a flow. So before we get started, I guess I should mention some props, suggestions. A blanket under the knees is always a really nice option, keeping the knees safe and healthy. A cat is a great prop as well. She's probably going to hang out with us the whole time. And then for our Yin practice, a block, a bolster, some extra pillows and blankets if you don't have those props. Let's begin now just by resting the hips down over the heels, rolling the shoulders down the back. We're going to start a flow here. Inhale to reach, lifting up off your hips, reach to the sky. On the exhale, we're going to lower the hips back down. Inhale, reach up, sweep. Lengthen, and then exhale back down to the hips. Couple more like this. Inhale, let's reach. And exhale. We've got two more. Nice work. Last one here. We're going to inhale, and then we're just going to exhale, hold. I'm going to come to face you. We're standing on the knees. Arms are reaching, shoulders are soft. Engage the core here to help you balance. Let's inhale, lengthen out the arms, and exhale, pull them into cactus, lift the chest. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale. We've got three more. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Two more. Beautiful. Last one here. Let's inhale, reach. We're going to exhale into cactus arms, hold, lift the chest. Breathing here for 3 inhales and exhales. Nice. Now on our inhale, let's reach up to the sky and then just exhale, float the hands beside the hips as we sink back over the heels, rolling the shoulders down the back. Let's walk ourselves forward into a tabletop position now, resting the hands right underneath the shoulders, knees under hips, starting to find a little bit of movement side to side here. We're going to begin our flow in tabletop with a cat-cow pose. Let's inhale, drop the belly, lift the tail, lift the gaze. On the exhale, we're going to curl, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting both ends up. Exhale, big curl with the spine. A few more like this at your own pace. Feeling into that flow state where the breath and the body are connected. Nice work. Let's exhale, curl. And then inhale back to a neutral spine. We're going to tuck our toes if they weren't already. And inhale, lift the hips to the sky, downward facing. Finding some movement here. Pedaling one heel to the earth at a time. Okay, stretching out the back body line, the calves, hamstrings. Nice. What we're going to do is bend our knees in downward facing and slowly walk our feet up towards the top of the mat. Avoiding the cat at all costs. Let's exhale into a forward fold. So I'm going to turn to face you. We're going to hang out here for just a few deep breaths. Once again, opening up our back body line, hands just dangling towards the mat. Crown of the head is heavy. 2 more breaths here. No fighting on the yoga mat, you guys. Nice. So from our forward fold, we're going to inhale to halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale, big fold into the legs. 2 more like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Last one, inhale to half lift. Exhale, big fold, forward bend the knees. Bring the hands to the knees as we curl. We're going to take our next inhale to find ourselves all the way up at standing. Taking your time to arrive here. Shoulders roll down the back. So we're arriving at the top of our mat in a mountain pose. Feeling your feet right underneath your hips. Shoulders over top of the hips. Chest is gently lifted. Breathe here. We're going to start a flow with our arms. So stay at the top of your mat. I'm going to come to face you. Let's inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, cactus arms, lift the chest. Inhale, reach, lengthen. And exhale. We've got 3 more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Last one here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hold in a cactus arm position as we lift up the chest. You can shift your hips forward just a little bit, finding more openness through your front body line. And then finding your next big breath in to reach back up to the sky. We're going to drop our right hand down as we reach our left arm up and over. Side bend, left shoulder is soft. We're breathing here for a few more breaths. Nice. Let's inhale both arms back up and exhale your left hand down as your right arm reaches up and over. So again, just the front view here. We're shifting our hips to the right, opening up the right side body, breathing deeply. Nice work, everyone. Let's inhale back up to center, reach. On our exhale, we're going to fold into the legs. One time only, let's inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. We're stepping our right foot back behind us. Dropping the right knee to the mat and setting ourselves up in a low lunge position. Again, nice to have a blanket here for support under the knee. Lengthening back your right leg, untuck the toes and sink the hips forward. You can see here in my lunge, my knee is right over my ankle, hands to frame the foot. Nice. So from this position, I'd like you to inhale, walk the hands back. We're going to lift the toes up. Hamstring stretch for a few deep breaths here. Guys, stop. Okay, so toes to the sky, gentle bend in the knees. Use your block if you have one underneath the hands for extra length in the arms. 2 more breaths. Nice job. Let's slowly walk ourselves back to a low lunge. This is a funky transition. Plant the hands on either side of the foot and inhale. Sweep your left leg back behind you, straightening it and keeping it lifted. Breathing into that strength through your core. We're going to transition to a floating side plank. Right hand and knee stay where they are as we inhale the left arm up. See, you may fall out of it. That's okay. You might want to just drop the left toes down. We're breathing here, squeezing our core as well as the left hip. Nice. So a little transition, a little funky transition. Try if you can to grab your left foot with your left hand. Quadricep stretch as well as a core engaging exercise here. A few more deep breaths. Feeling this through your hip on the right side as well. Nice. Let's slowly release, floating side plank. And exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes. Inhale, 3-legged dog with the right leg lifting. Exhale, tiger curl forward. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, tiger curl. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, we're gonna curl that leg, step it right through, drop your left knee to the mat. So we're finding ourselves back in a low lunge, opposite side. Ooh, gotta catch my breath after those tiger curls, sinking the hips forward. We're breathing here. Just have to adjust my blanket. So again, the knee is over the ankle, the back toes are untucked as we lengthen out the left leg, hip flexor. Nice, so from here, inhale, walk the hands back, take your block with you if you'd like. Hamstring stretch, toes to the sky. Gentle bend through your right leg. We're breathing into that space through the back body line. Couple more breaths here. And then as you're ready, we're going to slowly walk ourselves back to a low lunge. So I'm just going to transition to the other side so I don't have my back to you. What we're going to do from our low lunge is plant the hands and inhale, float the right leg back behind us. Leg is floating, back body's engaged as well as the core. Breathe here, feel your hips engaging as well. And then plant the left hand as you inhale the right arm up to the sky. Take your time, finding your balance, finding your breath and your strength through the right leg. Beautiful. We're going to find that quad stretch by slowly grabbing our right foot with our right hand. The knee is pointed right out to the side and we're breathing into the right quad. Hip flexor. The core is still engaged here. Really important to keep you balanced. And then gently, as I kick my wall, let's straighten the leg out. Reach back up, hold. Exhale, plant the hands. Tuck the toes. Inhale, three-legged dog with the left leg lifting. Exhale, tiger curl. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, curl. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, tiger curl, and step the left foot forward. This time the right foot to follow. We're going to exhale into a forward fold. So spending a few breaths here. Get out of there, Brucey. We're opening up our hammies, our back. If you want a shoulder stretch in this forward fold, you can interlace your hands behind your low back, holding here, or option to reach them up overhead. 2 more inhales and exhales. Beautiful. Let's slowly release the hands back towards the earth. We're going to inhale to halfway lift, one time only. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, roll all the way back up to standing. And then exhale into a mountain pose. So taking your time to find mountain. Again, I'm just going to come to face you. Feet are right under the hip. Shoulders are soft down the back. Palms are forward. Spending a few breaths here, just rooting down into the feet. We're going to do a few standing postures and then head into our yin practice. So mountain pose is always our home base for our standing postures. Okay, we want to feel supported and grounded here. Keeping the right leg where it is, we're going to step our left leg back behind us. Ground down through the left heel. Both legs are straight and strong. Take an inhale to reach the arms out. Hinge forward, and then we're going to exhale, bring the right hand to the right leg as the left arm reaches up to the sky. Now, I love in triangle pose to use my block as support. If you have one, it's a nice option. As we arrive here, we're opening up our chest, we're opening up our hips, breathing into this side body stretch. We've got 2 more breaths here. What we're going to do in our triangle for the last 3 breaths is sweep the arm into 3 big circles. Coming into the shoulder, all as we're still opening up our side and back body line. Nice work. Let's inhale to reach the left arm up. And then last one here, we're going to reach the arm up towards the top of your mat. Deep breath. Again, lengthening out to your left side body. What we're doing from here is spinning the left hand down. Grab your block and slowly walk the back foot in just a touch. We're going to come into a pyramid pose here. So the back foot is at about a 45-degree angle. The right leg strong and straight. Hands on the block out in front, and we're trying to curl our forehead in towards our knee. We're spinning our left hip forward as the right hip presses back, level through the pelvis. 2 more breaths. Nice work. To release out of this, we're going to bend into the right knee. Use your block once again and inhale, lift the left leg up. Hold here, squeezing through your back body line. Strong legs. We're going to do 3 toe taps. Left toes to the earth. Inhale, lift and squeeze the glutes. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Last one. Lift. And then exhale, both feet fold forward. Both feet are grounded. We're in a forward fold. Couple deep breaths here, releasing the crown of the head. If you want a little bit more for the back of the neck, you can interlace the hands behind the head. Nice job. Let's release the hands back towards the mat and inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, we roll all the way back up to standing, super slow. Exhale into mountain pose. So just taking your time to ground back down into mountain. Again, I'm just going to switch sides so I don't have my back to you. When you're ready, we're grounding into the left foot this time and inhaling our right leg back behind us. Both legs are strong and straight. Grab your block if you need it inside the left foot. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms out, and lengthen as we exhale. Left hand to block, right hand reaches. So again, we're feeling into our chest, we're feeling into our hips, opening up our right side body. Both legs are strong and supportive here. 2 more breaths. What we're going to do from here is sweep our right arm 3 times. Okay, so 3 big circles coming into the shoulder. Nice work. Let's inhale that right arm back up to the sky. And then exhale it towards the front of your mat, side body stretch. I'm feeling some heat building up in the body here. What we're going to do is exhale, right hand down. We spin the right hip forward as the left hip spins back. And transitioning to pyramid, so block can come out in front of the feet, or the foot, left foot. And then lengthen out through the spine, inhale. Exhale, fold. Few more breaths here, noticing your left hamstring and back body line opening up. Nice. To release, we're going to bend into our left knee, plant the block out in front, and inhale, sweep the right leg up. Hold here, feeling your hips engaging, your quadricep is strong. 3 toe taps, release the right toes to the mat. Inhale, lift and squeeze the glutes. Exhale. 2 more. Last one, lift and squeeze. Exhale, both feet to the earth as we fold forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. So this time as your option in forward fold, you're welcome to link your peace fingers around your big toes. Inhale, create some space. And exhale, pulls you a bit deeper into this forward fold. Few more breaths here. Nice. Let's release this and inhale, just halfway lift. Exhale, we're going to plant the hands and step ourselves back to a downward facing dog, please. Pedaling one heel to the earth at a time. And then when you're ready, we're going to sit down on our knees, wag our hips side to side, crossing at the ankles, slow release onto the bum. So I feel quite heated up in the body. I don't know about you, but we're going to set up for the second half of our practice, which is our yin practice. Making sure you have the support that you need. Our blanket is a nice option, some pillows if you don't have a bolster. Our first posture is going to be a butterfly fold forward. So grabbing your prop, sitting down onto your blanket, this is a nice support for the hips. We're going to take our feet out in front of us into a long diamond shape. Now here, I like to create a bridge with the bolster to help support the chest and belly. Stacking your block first, and then grabbing your bolster, we're going to place the bolster to create a bridge. Again, if you have a pillow, this works just as well. Let's inhale, lengthen out the spine. We're going to exhale very slowly. Start to drop into this beautiful hip opener, low back release, grounding down through your right cheek or your forehead. So as you arrive in your butterfly pose, just taking a few deep breaths to come into your hips, your low back. You may notice your body wants to feel into that flow state still. If that's the case for you, again, working with the breath just to try to ground down a little bit better, a little bit more. So the beauty of practicing yang or flow before our yin practice is once again feeling into that heat and openness through the body. Okay, so we're going to allow ourselves to drop a bit deeper into our yin poses today because of that heat. We're halfway through this hold. You're welcome to switch to the left cheek, making sure the neck feels okay. So noticing as we find ourselves relaxing, what's happening through the mind? Are you feeling some chatter, some thoughts showing up for you? Are you feeling a little bit more clear now that we were able to move through some of that at the beginning of our practice? Nice, we've got a few more deep breaths here. And then feeling your hands into your mat, let's slowly peel our chest and belly up, off the bolster, off the pillow, rolling the shoulders down the back as you arrive in a tall spine. Removing the props off to the side. And then I love this stretch as a counter. Let's bring our knees together, walk our feet in towards our bum, and give ourselves a big hug, curling the forehead in towards the knees. Beautiful. So we're going to set up for a twisted deer for our next pose. What I'd like you to do is turn sideways on your mat. You may want to unroll your blanket. So we're going to turn sideways and keep our left leg folded out in front of us as we fold our right leg back behind us. Okay, so feeling into that 90-90 with both knees, grabbing your bolster or a pillow, placing it out beside your left hip. So first feeling into this and noticing if your knees feel happy and healthy. If they don't, I recommend just stacking the knees instead for a mermaid pose. Wherever you are with the legs, we're going to slowly walk our hands to frame our pillow or bolster and inhale, lengthen out the spine. On your exhale, let's slowly walk the belly, the chest, and then the left cheek to your bolster. Nice, so we're going to rest here for a few minutes on each side, just allowing the body to really soften and relax. Giving yourself permission, if it feels right, to close the eyes. Notice what's happening through the spine, the hips. We've got one more minute to continue relaxing. Now, if you'd like, you can try to place your right cheek onto the bolster, twisting out fully through the spine. Few more deep breaths here in our twisted deer pose. To release out of deer, I want you to feel your hands pressing into the earth as you inhale, lift the chest, the belly up off the bolster. It's a slow release back to center, so keeping your legs as they are. We're going to take our left hand and bring it across to our right knee, twisting in the opposite direction, unwinding through the spine. Beautiful, let's come back to center. So what I'd like you to do is unwind both legs and find yourself in a wide leg stance. So we're still sideways on our mat. Our legs are nice and wide. We're sitting up tall. Now you may want to fold up your blanket. I'm going to have to here. My hips are pretty tight today. We want to feel supported under the hips so that our pelvis can tilt forward in order for us to fold. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is stack up some pillows and blankets out in front of you to eventually fold into your bolster or your pillow. I like to use a block first and then stack the bolster, but you can get creative at home. We're going to find some length on the inhale, flex the feet, and feel your quads engaging just a little bit. Right away, you'll notice the inner thighs. So that inhale lengthens you out. The exhale, you just slowly start to walk forward. Hands can come to rest your chin on. You can soften the eyes. We're going to breathe into a wide leg forward fold for a few moments, getting into our back body line. So as you're getting set up, I'm going to show you this pose from the side. It's really important that we stay out of our low back, which can sometimes happen when we're in our forward folds. Our low back can be compromised. So from the side, my legs are nice and wide. Okay, I'm inhaling to lengthen, And then instead of dropping back like this into a forward fold, that can happen if your hammies and hips are tight. We want to lengthen out through the spine and then tilt forward, keeping a nice flat back as you fold. Okay, so you can see that I'm out of my low back. There's a long line of energy through the spine. The feet are flexed. We've got about 1 more minute here in our forward fold. Nice opportunity to close the eyes, relax the face, the jaw, the shoulders. Let's take a few more breaths here. And then very slowly find your hands in your bolster and inhale, roll back up, tall spine. Releasing your props off to the right side. And then what I like to do here is grab behind the knees, pull my feet in just like we did after butterfly and hug the knees to the chest, curling the forehead towards the knees. Nice work, everyone. So what we're going to do is stay facing this way on our mat, but just fold the right foot in, keeping your bum supported on the blanket and your left leg back. Giving yourself some time just to set up our deer pose on the other side. Okay, let's come to frame our hands around the bolster as we twist into our deer. Lengthening out on the inhale and then just slowly relaxing on the exhale, hands to frame, and then your right cheek comes to the bolster. So again, we're going to spend a few moments here working into our hips, our spine. If your knees are not happy in 90-90, you can stack them instead, finding that mermaid stretch. So again, another beautiful opportunity to close the eyes, feel your body relaxing and releasing tension. For the last minute of our twisted deer, you're welcome to try bringing your left cheek to the bolster. Got a few more breaths here. Nice, let's plant our hands very slowly, lift up off the bolster. And then taking your time to come back to center, keeping the legs in your deer pose, and then twisting in the opposite direction. So right hand comes across to left knee. We're countering the twist, releasing through the spine. Nice, let's take ourselves slowly back to center. This time what we're going to do is straighten both legs out in front. We're coming into our hamstrings now. Okay, so instead of our wide leg forward fold, we're going to keep our feet together. I'm just going to turn so that I can show you this from the side. Grabbing your bolster or a rolled up blanket, placing it under the knees here. Again, you may want to roll up your blanket under the bum for extra support under the hips. Okay, so we're going to find ourselves in a caterpillar pose. Finding length through the spine, let's inhale, and then exhale, slowly walking so that the belly is resting on the thighs. You can grab your feet or you can just rest your hands to either side of the feet. Let's breathe here for a few moments, forehead heavy towards the knees. Okay, so a beautiful pose for our full back body line. Okay, hamstrings, low back, all the way up into the spine. If you don't have a full bolster under the knees, you're going to want to make sure you've got support under the hips for sure. Okay, but just giving yourself an opportunity to try a few different variations of caterpillar pose. Now, if you're finding it straining on the neck to roll forward like that, you can also create, just like we did in our wide leg forward fold, a little prop for the chin with the arms and the hands. Nice, we've got a few deep breaths left in this forward fold. Beautiful work, everyone. Let's very slowly roll ourselves back up. Take your time to release caterpillar. Shoulders drop down the back. We pull our knees back in. We release the bolster off to the side. And then whatever sort of stretch you need, another hug may feel nice. A little release for the hips is walking the hands back and just dropping knees side to side. We're going to do one more pose before Shavasana today. So just taking your time to release that. Nice. Let's come back up to center. We're going to cross at our ankles and roll onto hands and knees. So taking your time to set up in a child's pose position. So child's pose, the knees are nice and wide, toes are touching if you can. And then grab your pillow or bolster and place it in between the knees, please. This is going to be support for the chest and the belly. When you're ready with the hips still heavy over the heels, we're just going to walk our belly, chest, and one cheek to the bolster as we soften into our supported child's pose. We'll be here for a few moments, coming into the outsides of our hips as well as our low back. This is such a nice, calming, supportive, beautiful posture. As always, I recommend softening the eyes, giving yourself permission to rest before we head into our final rest. Keep getting prepared. We're about halfway through our child's pose. You're welcome to switch the cheek that's resting on the bolster. Let's take a few more deep breaths here, continuing to sink the hips heavy over the heels. And then as you're ready, we're going to feel our hands gripping the mat. This is a very slow release. Straightening the arms and inhale to pull yourself up to table. Bring your knees back under your hips. The bolster can slide out in front. And then stretching one leg back at a time, heel presses away from you. Switching sides. Nice. Let's cross at the ankles and we're going to roll onto our bum, rolling up your blanket and taking it towards the back of the mat. Okay, so we're going to set up for a resting position. Blanket comes to the back of the mat. If you have a pillow or a bolster for underneath the knees, getting set up by just rolling onto the back. Taking your time as you roll onto the back to find any last stretches in the body that you may need. So I'm going to give everyone about 10 deep breaths here just to move the body, release and stretch before we finally settle into Shavasana. Nice, we've got a few more breaths here. And then as you're ready, let's settle into whatever comfortable resting position feels best for your body today. Again, bolster can come right under the knees, or extra blanket under the knees, blanket under the head, or to cover yourself up. We're going to feel very supported, very grounded. And then as we arrive here, let's take a big breath in through the nose, fully out through the mouth, letting it all go. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Last one, in and out. Beautiful. So letting go of those deep breaths, just allowing the body to really ground and release. Coming into a natural breath, in and out through the nose. Taking some time to release your practice, to notice and reflect on how you're feeling after the flow and the yang part of your practice, as well as that gentle restorative yin component. This practice is all about finding balance. It's all about feeling into the sensation of our yin as well as our yang. Today for rest, I'm going to read you a passage from the book Journey to the Heart. And the passage is called "You Are a Perfect Balance of Yin and Yang." Our strength, courage, protectiveness, and the ability to decide, organize, plan, order, and choose reflect the masculine energy. Our creativity, sensitivity, emotions, vulnerability, intuition, and instincts for nurturing and caregiving are the wisdom of the feminine side. Honor and respect the masculine and feminine energy, the yin and the yang in yourself, the universe, the people around you. Both parts are important. Both can be trusted. Learn to let them work together in harmony. Look around, see the perfect balance of masculine and feminine. Let that balance come alive in you. I'm just going to give you a few more moments to settle into your rest, to feel the body relaxing fully, and giving yourself this time and space just to be present, trying not to reflect on the past or project into the future. Focus on the breath, the sound of the heartbeat, the sound of my voice. There's no rush to feel our bodies coming back to the space, but let's first just find our breath. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. A little bit deeper into the body. And then with that deep breath moving through you, start to notice your hands and your feet, fingers and toes wiggling awake. making those movements gradually more dynamic as you wake yourself fully back up. Finding a full body stretch by inhaling the arms up overhead, engage every muscle. Exhale, full release. And then hug the knees back into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. With the knees into the chest, we're going to feel a gentle rock from side to side. Massaging out the low back gently. And then eventually rolling onto your left side, please. Spending a few breaths here. Falling into that beautiful, nurturing yin energy. And then pressing the hands into the earth as you arrive back up in our seated position. We'll close off our practice in a tall seat, eyes closed, hands just resting in the lap or on the knees, please. Let's take a big breath in to sweep the arms up overhead, press the palms, lengthen. Exhale, find the hands to prayer at the heart center, bow the head. May we express the wisdom of our true selves. May we be reborn with every season. May we listen to the whisper of our hearts, and may we be blessed by inner illumination. May we be guided by the universe, and may we find our way home together. One more big breath in and out. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Thank you for a beautiful Yang and Yin flow practice. Namaste.